Right now, you can close a door and make the world smaller. You can lower the noise. You can turn off a screen. You can sit in a room where every corner is known. Every sound has a source. And nobody is moving behind you unless you let them in. And you probably do not think of that as survival. Now, take it away. Put your body in a crowd of strangers. Movement on every side. Voices crossing over each other. Faces you cannot read fast enough. Shoulders passing too close. Phones glowing. Music leaking from somewhere. Someone laughing behind you. Someone watching from the side. Nothing is attacking you. But your body may not care, because the ancient nervous system was not built to ask whether a crowded room is socially normal. It was built to ask one older question. Can I survive here? The mistake is thinking that people who hate crowded places are simply antisocial. That is too simple. Some are tired. Some are private. Some are sensitive to noise, movement, and pressure. Some just prefer calm. But one way to understand the pattern is this. A crowd destroys the perimeter. Your brain likes edges. It likes walls. It likes clear exits. It likes familiar faces, predictable movement, and enough empty space to know what is coming next. A crowd gives it none of that. We do not have eyes on the back of our heads. We do not have claws. We do not have armor. We do not smell danger with the precision of a hunting animal. We do not hear one broken branch under a storm of voices. We cannot track every shoulder, every footstep, every stare, every shift in tone, every possible exit, and every stranger's intention at the same time. But the nervous system still tries. That is the problem. The modern world puts ancient threat detection into spaces it was never meant to calculate. A mall, a crowded train, an open office, a packed restaurant, a party full of half-familiar people. None of these are usually dangerous in the old physical sense, but they are dense, they are unpredictable, they are full of signals. And for some people, that is enough. The first solution is not confidence, it is shelter. Not the dramatic kind, just controlled space. A bedroom door, a quiet car, a corner table, a seat with your back against the wall. A familiar kitchen at the end of a long day. A room where nobody can appear behind you without warning. It sounds small. It is not. Shelter gives the nervous system a boundary. It reduces the number of directions the body has to monitor. It turns the world from 300 moving signals into 4 walls, 1 window, 1 door, and a handful of known sounds. That is why the relief can be physical. You get home, close the door, and something drops inside the body before you have even explained anything to yourself. Your shoulders lower, your jaw loosens, your breathing becomes less shallow. The room did not give you a personality. It gave you a perimeter, and the ancient brain understands that immediately. The second solution is distance. Crowds remove distance. That is what makes them so expensive. In a calm space, your body can measure things slowly. That person is across the room. That voice is behind the counter. That footstep is in the hallway. That car is outside. The brain has time to sort signal from noise. In a dense space, everything arrives at once. A stranger brushes past your sleeve. Someone talks too loudly near your ear. A face turns toward you for half a second. A group laughs, and you do not know if it includes you. A door opens. A chair scrapes. A phone rings. Nothing happened. But the body had to check all of it. That checking costs energy. This is where social exhaustion can feel so confusing. You may leave a gathering and feel as if you did physical labor, even if all you did was stand, smile, talk, nod, listen, and try to seem normal. But that is not nothing. You are tracking timing. You are tracking tone. You are tracking eye contact. You are tracking when to speak, when to stop, when to laugh, when to move, when to look interested, when to escape without seeming rude. A socially dense environment is not just people. It is math, ancient math. Who is safe? Who is tense? Who has status here? Who is approaching too quickly? Who is watching me too long? Where is the exit? Where is the quiet place? What did that look mean? The modern mind calls this overthinking. The older body calls it mapping the tribe. Because for most of human history, belonging was not decoration. It was protection. Being misread by the group could cost food, safety, mating access, shelter, cooperation, and defense. So the brain learned to care. Too much sometimes. And now it performs that old calculation in birthday parties, conference rooms, family dinners, weddings, classrooms, elevators, and group chats. Wrong environment. Same alarm. The third solution is familiarity. The ancient brain does not only ask how many people are present, it asks who they are. A room with 6 strangers can feel heavier than a room with 20 people you trust. A small meeting can feel more draining than a loud dinner with close friends. A quiet elevator can feel more charged than a busy sidewalk. Because danger is not only volume. Danger is uncertainty. Familiar people require less calculation. You know the rhythm of their face. You know their pauses. You know whether their silence means anger, boredom, tiredness, or nothing at all. Strangers do not give you that shortcut. The body has to build the file from scratch. This is why some people do not hate people. They hate unprocessed people. They hate walking into rooms where every face is a new assignment. They hate standing in places where the body has to scan posture, distance, volume, mood, status, intention, and escape routes before it can relax. And again, this can look like a flaw. It can look like shyness. It can look like arrogance. It can look like being difficult. But in survival terms, it may be a system doing exactly what it was shaped to do. Unknown bodies get attention. Known bodies cost less. That is the rule. The fourth solution is energy conservation. This part is easy to miss because modern culture treats social energy like a moral issue. If you leave early, you are rude. If you need quiet, you are boring. If you avoid crowded plans, you are missing out. If you do not respond fast enough, you are distant. But the body does not run on social expectations. It runs on capacity. Every nervous system has a budget. Noise spends it. Light spends it. Performance spends it. Unfamiliar faces spend it. Forced friendliness spends it. The need to appear calm while feeling crowded spends it twice. So when some people withdraw, the withdrawal is not always rejection. It can be fuel protection. The system is closing non-essential doors. Less talking, less smiling, less explaining, less reacting, less movement. Not because the person has no feeling, because the body is trying not to burn through the rest of the day. This is why the so-called social hangover can feel so real. After a crowded event, the person may not want more stimulation, more conversation, more music, or one more small question about whether they had fun. They may want blankness, a quiet wall, a dark room, a drive home with no radio, a shower where nobody asks them to translate their own exhaustion. The ancient logic is blunt. When the environment is too expensive, reduce output. Save heat, save attention, save movement, save speech. Modern people call it shutting down. The older system calls it staying alive with what is left. The fifth solution is choosing the edge. Watch where people sit when they are tired. Not always, but often they choose the edge of the room. The corner booth, the side wall, the aisle seat only if escape matters, the back row, the balcony, the place where fewer things can happen behind them. This is not random. Edges are easier to defend than centers. A center position looks socially connected, but it also exposes the body to every direction. Someone can approach from behind. Someone can watch from the side. Noise comes from everywhere. Movement crosses every line of sight. The body may not form a sentence about this. It just feels better near a boundary. That is the ancient brain making architecture emotional. Open plan offices show this clearly. On paper, they are efficient. More light, more collaboration, more visibility, more movement. But for some nervous systems, that visibility is not energizing. It is exposure. The body has to work while also monitoring footsteps, side conversations, screen glances, sudden interruptions, and the strange pressure of being observable all day. Nothing is chasing you, but there is no cover. That matters. A person can look lazy in that environment and become sharp in a quiet room. They can seem unfocused in the middle of noise and suddenly become precise when the perimeter is restored. The mind did not change. The threat load changed. The sixth solution is solitude. Solitude is often misunderstood because people confuse it with loneliness. They are not the same thing. Loneliness is the pain of unwanted disconnection. Solitude can be the relief of finally being untracked. No facial management, no tone management, no timing management, no hidden scoreboard. No need to prove warmth, interest, competence, agreeability, availability, humor, patience, or ease. Just the body returning to itself. For some people, solitude is not an empty room. It is a repair chamber. The nervous system gets to stop broadcasting. It gets to stop measuring how it is being received. It gets to stop adjusting the face before the feeling has even arrived. This is why staying home can feel less like avoiding life and more like recovering the ability to meet it. The ancient brain does not need endless novelty to feel safe. It needs enough safety to stop scanning. That is different. And once you see it, certain behaviors make more sense. The person who cancels plans after a week of nonstop exposure may not be selfish. They may be overloaded. The person who sits in silence after a family gathering may not be angry. They may be downshifting. The person who prefers one close friend over a large group may not be socially broken. They may be choosing a smaller, readable tribe. The person who wants to leave the party before the room peaks may not be dramatic. They may have felt the threat load rising before anyone else noticed. Not all withdrawal is wisdom. Not all avoidance is healthy. Not every instinct is automatically right. But the instinct itself is not meaningless. It came from somewhere. The strange part is that modern life has made crowd exposure normal, in a way the ancient body may still find absurd. We can be surrounded by strangers on a train, judged by strangers online, observed in offices, contacted through devices, pulled into group chats, expected to attend social events, and then told to relax. As if the nervous system has a simple off switch. It does not. The body keeps score in older units: distance, familiarity, exit, noise, light, visibility, energy, trust. That is why a crowded place can drain you before anything bad happens. The cost is not always in the event. Sometimes the cost is in the preparation the body makes in case the event turns. A false alarm still uses fuel. A locked muscle still spends energy. A guarded face still takes work. A polite smile can be light on the outside and heavy underneath. And if the body runs that program long enough, it will eventually demand shelter. Not because you hate humanity, because the organism wants its perimeter back. There is also a stranger possibility. Some people may not simply prefer quiet after crowds. Their system may use quiet as a biological reset, the way an overheated machine reduces its own output before damage spreads. This can look almost like disappearing. They stop answering quickly. They avoid bright rooms. They sit in the car for a few minutes before going inside. They keep the lights low. They eat the same food. They rewatch the same show. They choose routine over novelty, not because nothing else exists, but because predictability has become medicine. From the outside, this can look boring. From the inside, it can feel like coming back online. The repeated show asks nothing new. The familiar room hides no surprise. The closed door reduces the world to a manageable size. The routine tells the nervous system again and again that no new threat has entered the shelter. That is not weakness. That is regulation. And it makes sense that the modern world misunderstands it, because modern culture often worships expansion. More people, more access, more stimulation, more openness, more networking, more visibility, more noise disguised as opportunity. But the ancient brain does not worship more. It trusts enough. Enough food, enough light, enough known faces, enough distance, enough cover, enough silence to hear what matters. Here's the part that gets me. We built a world so crowded, bright, connected, and socially exposed that needing quiet now looks like a personality problem, when it may simply be one of the oldest safety systems in the body. asking for a defensible place to land. You are not wrong for feeling relief when the door closes. You are not strange for needing space after too many faces. You are not broken because your body feels safer where the exits are known. The sounds are familiar, and the perimeter belongs to you. We made crowds normal, but the nervous system is older than normal. And sometimes staying home is not the failure to join the world. It is the ancient brain finally putting down its shield.